So much. And now I'd like to bring Leah. Leah is one of our board members and now the longest attending member.
Yeah, since Paul died.
Since Paul died.
Keeper of the candle.
Yes. So an amazing woman. I could go on, but I won't, because this is her time.
No, please don't.
She's going to share how God has blessed you through this church, Leah.
Okay. Well, this church, what it means to me, 3 things. Sounds simple. Number 1 is my life. Number 2 is my spiritual life. And number 3 is the quality of life. And that's pretty much it. So I, for whatever reason, was born to a terrible family. My mother was schizophrenic or multiple personality. She was vicious. She hated me. She abused me severely. My father was a pedophile. So that was not a good thing. Now, yes, I talk to God about that, and yes, I question it, and I'm almost looking forward, not really, but sort of looking forward to dying just to find out why, right? Oh, well. So I became an adult, moved out at 18, and I'd always sort of been attracted to women, been attracted to men too, but often I'd have little crushes on women, and I especially like butchy women. And
Me too.
yeah, so there was a... Well, you get the best of both worlds. So that said, here I was feeling gay. Now, when I was 18, 19, it was against the law to have a homosexual relationship, to the extent where even if you were sort of kissing and cuddling, if I were a woman or whatever with another woman, I could be taken to jail. I mean, it was just crazy, right? You had to go in the back door of a club and they'd turn on the lights, the disco lights, if the police were coming, so that we'd switch partners. I mean, it was a different world. So anybody who says things don't get better, wrong. Okay? So I knew a lady, older lady. She was too old to be an attractant, shall we say, but I loved her, and she appeared to be gay. I ended up renting a room from her and living with her, and at one time, she got out the Bible, and she read me those horrible Bible verses, you know? And basically it was saying I was an abomination to the Lord because I was attracted to a woman. That was awful, and I adored her, so it was even worse. What she had done is stifled her own sexuality, no question, because she believed that's what the Bible said, that's what God said. It was so devastating for me. I didn't have any really family. I didn't have a real relationship. I was sketchy on my friends because I was distant, and I made a very serious attempt at suicide at that time. There's no reason why I'm here except for this church. None. There was no reason. I shouldn't have lived, but I did. I never even told anybody way back then. I wouldn't tell anybody. One day, then I decided, what I did is to prove that God could love me, I went off and married a man. And it didn't work out too well. So I ended up in Wisconsin, long story. Come back to California, I just forget God. I don't give a darn. I'm a lesbian, and I literally was serially monogamous. One girl at a time, here, there, wherever. I couldn't even know the names of the people. Couldn't come up with them. That's how wild I was. But all the time feeling that God wouldn't love me because of that. I even had, as I have now, rats crawling in the back of where I lived, and I thought it was like one of the plagues against me personally. That's how awful I had felt inside. Sitting at a bar, gal's bar, that's about all the social life we had back then also, right? Yep. A woman tells me about this church she went to in North Hollywood, and it was for GBLTQ. Then it was I think we only said gay and lesbians, but that's what it was for. It's like, oh, would I like to go to this? Oh, wow. I mean, I was ready to go that minute, but it wasn't open. I walked in that church, and that was it. I felt peace. I felt safe. I felt okay. So what does this church mean to me? No words, really. No words. Went on, go to church, involved, all that. I was living in North Hollywood for a little while. I swear I was there 7 days a week, doing stuff and helping and all that service, and sang in the choir. And of course, I knew beloved Paul. Ended up in the choir, and just all kinds of a life. And I've stayed in this church ever since then. And mind you, that was over 49 years ago. And I love it. And this current church right now, I joined the board. All those years I never joined the board because I've sat and watched board meetings. No, I never wanted to join a board. But this board, and especially at the time with Paul at the helm and our pastor, I said, I'll join this board. And I'm very grateful. I've found this board of this church putting this whole church in good hands. All dedicated to the good for each and every one of you. I've learned to love people. I have a relationship. It's not the most wonderful, but there's true love between us, and that's really great. Been several years now, and the height of, I think, the good for me was we used to sit up here when we were acolyting or helping and look out among the congregation. And I sat there and I thought, person after person, I loved dearly. And to this day, I can look. I love each and every one of you. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. This is why we have this church. Amen. Let's sing and remind ourselves that we are blessed.